did he miss? Junior Watanabe on my ex-strippers, new killers.
Welcome to the channel, everybody, and today we're going to give you something different. A little bit of something that we're going to do probably once, twice a month. It's going to be talking about just gaming pretty much, and we're going to call this, I guess you could call it Around the Hub. We have our boy here with us today. No, you don't get to see him too much on the channel, but yeah, this is what this brother looks like. Dark Ronin, go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
This is who I am.
Yeah, that's who he is. He's also a dominant lineman in ESG football, and I guess we'll start it out there. We'll start the conversation out. The game has been down for a week, right?
Yeah, it's now been down for a week. We're kind of waiting to hear any word on when the next time we'll be back in. I'm hungry, man. Everybody's hungry to get back in, man. We were just talking about it just recently.
Yes. And a lot of the reason why the game is down is because they had some fixes, some things that they wanted to test. And also, I would say that there just needs to be, and this is just speaking to the community, pretty much needs to be a little bit of a recalibration on how, that we're helping the developers develop the game, and we've got a little bit away from that, in the past couple weeks. It's a very good community at its core, and I think you can agree upon this. Very good community at its core, but there are those bad apples over there that have led to a bad experience for those newcomers coming into the game. Would you say that?
Well, I think the most important thing for newcomers is to just make sure to have fun in the game. Things that were really said in front of them was not meant to be said in front of them. There was a designated place for that, but for whatever reason, people wanted to talk about it in a different setting, but hey, everybody has their prerogative. At the end of the day, you can't control another man.
100%. Now, a good thing that I know that y'all did, you guys put together a video about linemen. What was that, yesterday or the day before yesterday? I believe it was you, Chungus, and Quasi. You guys went into details about line play in ESG, and I don't think that a lot of the big men like yourself, because you're a pretty big dude, right? Aren't you? You're like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, I'm in real life. I'm 6'5". I lost a lot of weight. That's why I'm a lot skinnier than I was. But yeah, I'm 275.
No, but you guys really gave good insight into what good times that a lineman could have coming into ESG and actually playing linemen, because we know that usually all the bullshit is about the wide receivers, the running backs, the quarterbacks. Everybody wants those perceived glamour positions so they can talk the most shit. But me, as a former coach, the shit talkers that deserve it are those guys that are in the trenches, because you guys really put in the work. Unsung heroes.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, at the end of the day, though, I guess the reason why I might be a little humble is because I have not gone as far as I'd want to for a championship. I always have to keep that in kind of back of my mind. But yeah, literally, if you don't have somebody who understands block fits, if you don't have somebody who understands how to attack gaps, or where a running back's going to run, where the quarterback's going to run, and you don't have people that will coordinate with each other for that, then you're pretty much depending on open field tackles, and open field tackles is a lot harder than getting somebody in the backfield. So yeah, if it comes down to the fundamentals of football and how football is basically played in the game, I mean, I've played games where I've literally had two other really good linemen with me, and we've literally stymied whole offenses, like to a point where DBs were saying, "Hey, let them throw. We gotta get a chance to get a chance at the ball." Like, you know, like you can get into situations like that if you have a great line, but you know, it still depends on communication, teamwork, and synergy. That's all. I mean, that's basically the whole thing in the game of ESG is communication, synergy, and actually being able to follow instructions if somebody's telling you something in a read that you may not see, but it could be the right read.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, just like you said, you have to be open to communication. You have to be open to learning. And you hit on a couple good aspects there, talking about football in general. It's a lot easier to tackle somebody when there's a lot of other bodies around, especially if they're a shifty person, instead of once he gets past that pile up of the offense and defensive line, and you're a poor safety back there all by yourself, and you're one-on-one with somebody in the build of a fuego. You don't want that. You know what I mean? It's just like asking me to tackle Barry Sanders in the open field.
Man, I was trying. I remember I was coaching some rookies, and I was trying to tell them what to do with fuego. I was like, man, you gotta contain. You can't attack them. You can't attack them. No. You gotta contain.
Yes, you definitely have to contain them. But everybody's going to get a chance to hop into the beta. If you are not in the Discord over there, we will provide a link in this video so you can get in there, get your hands on it. We're inviting linemen to come in there, even non-linemen. It's a football experience like none other. You can't find it honestly in any other game. And with that, we'll pivot to the next topic, which is harkening back to your origins here on the channel, Ronan. And you know what we're going to talk about. You know what we're going to talk about.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, the boxing game that has disappeared. And like, what's kind of wild is originally, and we'll give you guys a little peek behind the curtain, I was doing a lot of the coverage on Undisputed Boxing. I was loving it. And then Ronan came on, and he came on at the right time because I started to become stale on Undisputed. And the game was doing some things that I wasn't agreeing with. So then Ronan was gracious enough to, grab the baton and run with Undisputed. And then I think that you encountered the same thing that I encountered, but unfortunately for you, there was nobody else to hand the baton off to. But what's your thoughts, like, honestly, on where Undisputed is now, your overall just experience, even from a content creation to like playing the game, climbing the ladders, and then like what it is like now?
Man, see, how many years did I put playing that game? Man, like, I mean, like, Undisputed, this community, there are faces in the community that are still going strong.
It's all good. Look, he's a busy man. He's a busy man. There's I'm sorry.
There are people that are still faces in the community. They're still doing the thing. They're still going over ahead with the coverage. I mean, the thing that just killed it for me, honestly, with Undisputed. But there's some good things that they're doing. Like I like the fact that they are coming out with content. They still are working with the people that are working with them.
And there are some people
boxing. Yeah, but I'm sad that Boxing Fanatical left. Like,
yes,
I think that was kind of like the nail in the coffin for me, because I first got introduced to Undisputed by Boxing Fanatical.
Yep, same here. Same, honestly. Same here. And then I'm kind of with you. Like JX Shep he's a community manager now, and we've had interactions with him a couple times. Sat down and I've chatted with him a couple times in the Discord and on X back and forth. And this is no shade on Undisputed, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are still enjoying it. Pryoxis, I check out his content every now and then. I see that he hops back on it and he says the game's not terrible. It's just not what we were expecting. And I guess like for both me and you, I guess we can now look forward to Undisputed 2, which is, they say that it's in production. It's going to be on the Unreal 5 engine. You know what I mean? If you look on their LinkedIn, like they've been putting out the call for people that know how to work on the Unreal 5 engine. So maybe, and this sounds scummy, maybe the first Undisputed was, and I hate to say it, was a cash grab to actually fund what the game is supposed to be, because we didn't get the gems. You know what I mean? We didn't get like you didn't get to see nobody walking around in there and training up and all that stuff that they showed us. It never materialized in the game, and I think they went with a little bit too much of a focus, not like too heavily on the online play, but they forgot the career mode stuff, like the training that was going to really teach people the mechanics of the game. Like, if I don't know what the mechanics of the game is, like, I'm going to go back to Fight Night. Fight Night had a gym where you could go in there and you could hit the heavy bag. It showed you how to throw jabs. It showed you how to move around, and it kind of trained you up. Undisputed didn't have it. You know what I mean? You just hopped in there. You could play against the AI, throw some hooker cuts. The lead body uppercuts. What do you know about lead body uppercuts, Ronan?
That's what I'm saying. You don't even know what like the new cheese is. It ain't even about lead body uppercuts anymore.
But it was for a minute.
Oh man, but you didn't play during the power punch era where everybody was throwing, every strength in every single punch, just spamming power punches.
Like, what am I playing? Like, what am I, actually, what am I playing? All right, well, enough shitting, respectfully, on Undisputed, and we will talk about Fight Night. Supposedly, there is a new Fight Night coming, and what do you think about that?
I mean, man, I have more faith in Undisputed 2 than a new Fight Night, just because of my feelings on EA. Now, but I understand. But there's a caveat. All
right.
My hope for both of them are incredibly low. The ceiling is the ceiling right now is in the foundation. Okay, so I mean, if they do anything above that, I'll be happy for both of them. I'll give both of them.
Here's what's weird with me about EA. I have faith in EA for a time frame. I believe that when Fight Night, whatever they're going to call it, Fight Night Forever, comes out, I guarantee you it will be good for at least 2 months. It will be knocked down, drag them out, good. Everybody's going to be loving it, singing its praise, and then you're going to have what usually happens always with EA's games. You will have the people who suck that will come in there and ruin the game.
But here's the thing. I got something to say about that. Okay.
Right.
Is it because you haven't had a Fight Night in a long time, and it's just like, oh my God, Fight Night's back, like the whole thing with college football, the whole, really, when I play college football, as a person who's been playing Madden, I guess, since I was 8 years old, it didn't feel much different than Madden 21, Madden 20. So pretty much Madden ever since Madden 20's been a lot the same. But you know what I mean? It's I don't know, when it comes to these games, I've just came to terms that it's just it's just a money grab always.
You're 100% correct.
Because it literally feels like college football 25 feels the same as Madden 24.
But here's the question. Was college football fun for 2 months last year?
It was, but that's what I'm saying.
There you go.
But it was just because of the nostalgia.
That's what I'm saying. Fight Night's been gone for that long. I was a crackhead on college football. You can ask Turk. When it first came out, I went and I got me an Xbox Series S, and I was playing the shit out of that game for 2 months, and then it was just like the big epiphany. I was playing it one day, and I was just like, okay.
Asset repackaging.
Yes, there you go.
You know what? And that's not just to throw shade at EA. Like, if we're gonna be honest here, a lot of devs do that nowadays. And like Ronan said, it's just like, okay, the only reason you're happy about this is because you didn't have it. You know what I mean? It's almost like a meal. It's like, if you look at what Call of Duty does, I saw Call of Duty repackages assets every year, and nobody says anything about it. Nobody says anything about it. You know what I mean? They just release the exact same game, and everybody's like, "Fuck yeah, dude! It's out again!"
Yes,
Oh
yes, and it just like
yes, you know. And then here you are at this little middle juncture, 3 months after you purchase Call of Duty. You haven't prestiged. The MP7 is now the MP7 because it's the future now. And it's the exact same weapon model, but the magazine takes like laser cartridges. It's literally the exact same. If you look at even modernized Call of Duty games, like they'll take a gun, like it'll be the AK-47, and the weapon will just look a little bit more futuristic. It'll be like the AK-47.3, and it's like a brand new type of AK in this new Call of Duty. But like people know it's the AK. They don't even call it the new weapon. They just call it the AK. It's just asset repackaging, man. And EA is disgustingly infamous for doing it. For their football games, like they have no shame whatsoever, man.
No.
I can't even. I was watching a video. It's funny that you said that the other day. Like, Rona, it's like a complete asset repackage. Like EA's college football 25, newest college football is like the year before Madden, and everybody's geeked up because they're wearing college outfits.
Yes, and Ronan, and they got me because you remember they got both me and you last year because I can remember us being in Discord and me and you were saying, "Oh man, I tell you what, I
remember you saying you were excited. You're like, I just wasn't. I knew. Honestly, they fooled me. They got me this time. It is good. It's good this time. I'm surprised. Yes. Instant skeptic swap.
Little did we know that they had a time detonator on it, Ronan. Like
EA Trump.
Like they hit us with a thermal detonator from Star Wars.
Because he's holding a thermal detonator.
And we just didn't know it was going to blow up. So I tell you what, now we'll move on to the next subject. Since we got Turk in the house and we might as well take advantage of it, let's talk Destiny. Okay, Destiny has content coming out in December. They're going to roll in Star Wars, but Bungie is in a world of mess right now. I don't know if I'm worried about Destiny as much as I'm worried about Bungie, and are those two things tied at the hips? Because Marathon had popped for a couple weeks. I actually kind of believed in it, and that's kind of died off. And I tell you what, we'll let Brendan, we'll have your thoughts on it real quick, and then I'm gonna give the floor to the in-house expert on Destiny, Turk, and like what his thoughts are. So, what do you think about? And I don't know if you're aware of what's going on with Bungie. Did you hear about like far as with the assets for Marathon and everything else? How it was
stolen artwork from it.
Stolen artwork. Are you aware of that?
There was like an artist they let go, or art that was made in like 2018 or something. There's a lot of like logos that ended up in Marathons, you know, the alpha that a lot of people were playing, and you know, the artist was like, that's mine, you know?
Yeah.
And she didn't work there anymore, apparently. So it's just like,
I'll tell you what, I say go ahead and expand on it, and then we'll let Ronan speak on it, because like you know a lot more than anybody else.
I can kind of like explain the situation a little bit more. So from my understanding of it, I try to stay up, current on it, is these assets, they're just digital, digital art logos and stuff like that. But it's like multiple instances of basically looks like vector logos, just simple logos that are compiled or put into different spots and areas that create like textures in the game. Honestly, a lot of it is really stylized. A lot of that, the way that the game is structured, the way that you see some of the artwork, it seems like it drew a lot of inspiration from some of the stuff that this former artist at Bungie did. Apparently she didn't work there since 2018 or something like that, and then she zoomed in on all these different instances of the Marathon trailer and maybe some areas in the game, and she found that her artwork was being used. So then there was this huge thing going on between Bungie where Marathon and Bungie, they didn't post anything about Marathon ever since this had came out. There was this radio silent, and they were trying to patch up the situation. And this isn't the first time though that Bungie has been caught, quote unquote, stealing art or whatever they want to call it. It is a form of some type of theft or use. It's not your own stuff.
Yeah.
So this isn't the first time. I think this is like the third time.
I mean, do you think this is going to hurt, like really hurt them, or is there something they'll just brush off with a whole bunch of cash like they have before?
I don't think they have the opportunity to keep brushing stuff off with cash.
Wow.
And that's just my opinion. The only reason I say that is, the only reason I say that is because Lightfall, how hype Lightfall was, then it basically sucked. And then we had to move on. Witch Queen before that was just phenomenal. Then you have Lightfall and it's bad. Final Shape was the best DLC that they've had. They're like at a critical juncture where they have to at least show some type of like consistency. Like Bungie is like really kind of, they're like kind of pushing daisies right now in terms of doing things, in my opinion, in choosing to develop or participate in any type of game development that isn't just Destiny or Halo. You're really narrow in your pathways. You can't. I just don't understand how you get caught as a studio stealing art multiple times.
Yes.
I just don't get that. It's just really that plain and simple. Like, just stop doing that. And
it's kind of scummy. It's really scummy.
I saw another creator that really worded it really well. I can't remember the name. It kind of makes me sad. So I hope they see this or something like that. But they had said, like, even if the game comes out or, it's received and Bungie finds their way back, like, the well is poisoned, in a sense. You know what I mean? The well has been poisoned. Like, that has happened too many times. Now you have somewhat of a reputation or, like, for doing that. Like, I'm not saying like you're known for being like a thieving artist or anything like that, but even if the game is received quote unquote well, you're still going to have this perpetual ongoing, I think, vibe at Bungie where these people don't even know how they're supposed to develop or make artwork, because how the Bungie creators that were there, that work there follow the creator that make this, or at the time they were following her. Yeah. So it's like, where do you even draw that line? Like, if how are you inspired by former creators' art? If you're following them on Instagram, you like all their work and all the stuff that they post, and there's somebody that inspires you, and then you're going on to work on a game that they're no longer developing with you.
Yeah.
So like, how are you have to, like, there has to be some full paradigm shift in what that game looks like. You can't just keep on piggybacking off some artist that doesn't work there anymore, and then have people that work at Bungie that are following people. How is there not some non-disclosure agreement stating that you can't personally follow or like, there has to be some type of like liability somewhere. That's why they're getting in trouble.
So now
there's you know what I mean?
Now, what do you what does this mean for? What do you think this means ultimately for Marathon?
I have no clue.
Yeah, because as of right now, at least to me, it seems like it's like wasted money, because it had a storm of like, there's a lot of interest, and now you have games like Arc Raiders, it's different, but it's really going to
Marathon 4. You know what I mean? When you truly, when you break it down at its core, who is that game like really made for? Like, a game that is made for everybody, in my opinion, is not for anybody. Yeah. And that's what they keep on preaching.
Yes.
About Marathon, and I don't understand.
Why didn't they just put that in Destiny? That's what I don't understand. Like, why didn't they just take
some
that
type of extraction?
Yes, they could have just added
an extraction loot thing. That would be cool if they did that in Destiny. But the thing that I always have to kind of realize with Destiny is that game is playing on an 8-year-old game engine, and a lot of the limits of Destiny is solely due to the fact that they're still running on that particular engine. Like, maybe if it was on UE5, okay, and that's why they had sunsetting all that bullshit that nobody liked for a while, because they said that they simply didn't have the space and the memory to keep on containing all the weapons. And so I understand that, but really, they got to do something. I feel like focusing currently on, I don't see what the problem with focusing on Destiny is. I know that I don't know what low numbers really are for people. Destiny is currently at like roughly 24,000 concurrent players on Steam. When you add console onto that, that's really not that bad. You know what I mean? A concurrent 24,000 people playing a game that came out like 7 or 8 years ago. Its peak, yeah, was 310,000, whatever it was. But that's, you know, you have those booms during content. But for marathon, man, I don't know what that means for marathon. You know? I think they need to focus on Destiny. I don't even know if they really need to make a brand new Destiny, or go start helping 343 with Halo or something, bro. Like,
I think they're
extraction shooter stuff. They got to stop. Like,
I think they're cornered. I think that's where they're messing up, because their core base wants another Destiny. And when they found out that, like, they could have made this new marathon a Destiny 3 and just added that aspect into Destiny 3, and I think that they would have been okay, because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. That's what's wild. Like, you made Destiny 1, then you had the same fan base came back for Destiny 2. Why would you go far off the pale and dig up a shooter? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Marathon.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, nobody remembers.
Shooter.
Yes.
And it's not. There's no semblance of the original product.
No, and there's no core audience there. Like,
Yeah,
most.
So you're not making the game for people that played Marathon.
No.
Okay. You're not making it for people that are playing Destiny, right? Okay. You know, it's an extraction shooter. That's your core. That's your base. Okay, you want it to be inclusive, where loot sticks with you and stuff like that. It's not a hardcore extraction shooter, so it's not for Escape for Tarkov players.
No.
Like, who is this game
Here,
for?
and here's a hot take. This is a very hot take. I've played video games way back. Marathon came out in the same era around Duke Nukem and all that. I don't even remember hearing about Marathon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even like playing like with your Uncle John and everything else. We never talked about Marathon. So, like, whenever that came out of nowhere, I'm just
never even heard of it. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
I'm not saying like I'm like boomer status. I'm 32. I turned 32 today. But like, it's not like I've literally never heard of Marathon.
Ronan, have you ever heard of Marathon?
I just posted into the chat a picture I found from the original Marathon. And
yes, but here's like I kind of remember it just from seeing it in a PC Gamer magazine, and that's how much it impressed me. I can just remember turning the page and vividly seeing it in a PC Gamer magazine. That's it. That's absolutely it. I mean, that's as far as it goes.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
James Spain.
I mean, you know, this is way before my time.
Now, Ronan, you played Arc Raiders. And we'll use Marathon as a segue into Arc Raiders.
Yeah.
I played Arc Raiders, and I think that Arc Raiders really has that it. Really, like, when it lands, it's going to kind of do what Helldivers did, but for the extraction shooters, because I can't even explain it. It's like just kind of wild. There was a part in the game where I thought that I was playing against bots, and some guy was behind the door, and like he shot me, and I was on the ground, and he walked up to me, and I thought it was a bot, and then he just like shot me in my face and just like killed me and just took all my shit. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, like, I mean, put it like this, like with Arc Raiders, I think, okay, because you gotta remember, like, I'm not like Isaiah has probably played way more hours in extraction shooters than me, for example, but like, I think the thing I like about Arc Raiders is like it has like elements, because like even like people who are like deep in like the Arc Raiders community, they don't even know if to fully like call it an extraction shooter. Like, it's not as hardcore as like, you know, Escape to Tarkov or any of the other games. You know what I mean? Like, it's still hardcore in the fact, like, yeah, you're still scrounging for items, you're still scrounging for supplies, still scrounging for weapons, shield generator, health pack, like all that kind of stuff. But it's like, it's a little different because it's like you have that 30-minute timer, and that 30-minute timer kind of like makes you focus on where you're gonna go, and if you want to help with people. Like, for example, like if you play it solo, you can actually like parlay with people and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know, it felt more inviting than like Escape to Tarkov, because it was like Escape to Tarkov, I just got boom, like as soon as I load up that game, go in, like first second, like going in, boom, I'm like, what just happened?
Damn, I'm really dead.
I saw a video that somebody put out on Arc Raiders where some dude was getting ready to kill him, and he begged for his life. Old dude gave him some health packs, let him live. And he said that they became friends and they went on to like play together for like another like 4 or 5 hours and were taking out like major bosses and shit in the game. And like, to me, that's cool. So like where you can like, not that you can beg for your life and somebody not kill you, but just that.
Some people call it begging for your life. Other people call it parlaying. You know what I mean? It's a tomato, man.
I'd be turning on people. I'd be like, come on, man, let's go kill this boss.
Yes.
Killed it. I'd take their
I did that. I actually did that. I threw. I shot the dude like right after the boss like died, and then like took his stuff and just ran away. But I'm a scumbag.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, guys, this is something that we are going to have regularly here on the channel. We just kind of call it Around the Hub, where we're going to give you aspects and viewpoints on all different kinds of games, and we'll probably even expand it beyond that. We just want everybody to know, yes, we do cover more than football here on the channel.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. But until next time, it has been Smokin' Jay, Dark Ronin, and your boy Turk, and we will see you around the hub.
Yeah, don't not get strained but strained. Don't not get strained but strained. Don't not get strained but strained. You don't get shit straight, you don't straight.